Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monty Barnett, and today I'm going to show you how to grill the perfect steak. We all love steak. 4th of July, the smell of fresh cut grass, burgers and steaks grilling, memories of childhood. All right, let's start out with the cut of meat. Choosing the right cut is very simple. It depends on your preference. I like ribeye steak. You can choose T-bone, you can choose any cut you want, but it's all about preference. Second thing is you want to go with a cut of meat that's roughly 1 inch thick, and I'll show you why. This is a ribeye steak. As you can see, it's roughly 1 inch thick. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's 1 inch thick. There's many different ways to measure the steak. I use a tape measure. It's something I got laying around the house. The reason why you want a 1 inch steak is because it's easier to cook. You want to get a good crust on the outside. You want to get a good sear. With a thin steak, you risk overcooking. You want to stay away from that. It's going to taste rubbery. It's not going to be any good. It's going to taste like hospital food. Okay, the second thing is let's talk about seasoning. Well, the steak is the star of the show. As you can see, my ribeye simply has salt and pepper on it, a little bit of olive oil. That's all I did. You can get elaborate if you want, but the star of the show is this steak. The seasoning enhances its flavor, but at the end of the day, the flavor of the steak is what you want. One quick tip, when you salt your steak, you want to salt it and season it about 40 minutes prior to putting it on the grill. You want to let it rest and achieve room temperature. The reason being is you don't want the center of your steak freezing cold and the outside warm, because when you put it on the grill, it's going to take you longer to cook it, and you're going to risk overcooking. Okay, after you've seasoned your steak, the reason why you want to let it set for at least 40 minutes is all that salt is going to pull the moisture out of the steak. Then it's going to return back, so you get that juiciness to your steak. The third step that we're going to talk about today is what kind of fuel you're going to use. You can use mesquite, you can use applewood, you can use charcoal or lump coal, you can use a gas grill. Doesn't matter. You need something that produces heat to cook the steak. Okay, you took your steak out, you let it rest, you've seasoned it, you're happy with that, you're happy with your cut of the meat, you have a heat source. You want to get your grill up to around 400 degrees, maybe 450. The rule is for every 1 inch of steak you want 10 minutes of cooking time, depending on your preference on your doneness. When you're cooking your steak, some people will just throw it on there and cook it. I like a crosshatch pattern. So I know I need 10 minutes of cooking time. I'm going to kick that down to about 8 minutes because I want it medium rare. I'm going to start my steak off at a 45-degree angle. I'll give you an example here. You want to start your steak out at a 45-degree angle. Say your grill is going this way. You want to cook it this way for 2 minutes. You want to move it this way for 2 minutes. You want to flip it over. You want to cook it 2 minutes. You want to rotate it again, 2 minutes, 8 minutes. You're going to have a nice crosshatch grill pattern on that steak. It's going to be really good. You're going to like it. Okay? All right, you've just cooked your steak. It's all done. You're ready to eat. You want to stop. You want to hold off a little bit. You want to let that thing rest for about 5-6 minutes. If you cut right into it, you're going to get juice all over your plate. Oh, and one more tip. When you're cooking a steak, something I use, if I do not have a thermometer, is you take your hand, you take your index finger and your thumb, and you touch it together. You touch the fleshy part of your thumb here. That is rare. You touch your next finger, that's medium. Next step, that's medium well. It's a good trick to use. You got to try it sometime. Me, I'm right about there. Some people touch their nose. I use this method here. I don't like putting a thermometer into my meat because the juice is going to leak out. Okay, the last tip I have is searing. Some people like to sear their meat. You can use a hot skillet. You can use a grill. If you use a grill to sear your steak, you want to wait until you're 15 degrees before you achieve your perfect temperature. Okay, a couple of items you can enjoy with your steak. Maybe you want a baked potato, maybe some corn on the cob. There's a lot of different things that go with steak, but I hope you enjoyed. my video today, and I hope that you go out and start grilling some steak. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to eat. This is a steak that I did earlier. As you can see, it's got a crosshatch pattern on it. It's a perfect medium well. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is a medium well steak. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to eat. Thank you.